Hello, my name's Victor Vogel, author of Creating a Bad Guy Free Zone and Creating a Bad Guy Free Zone While Traveling. During this whole gun debate thing that's been brought to the front again by the shootings down in Florida at the school, I was asking myself the question, how many mass shootings have happened? Or actually, I did a search for what were the worst mass shootings in the world on Google, and we came up with some interesting information. So I want to take just a second and share this with you. Maybe it'll give you some insight. First of all, let me just say that this came from the World Atlas. I'll put this link right here down in the YouTube description. It's called The Deadliest Mass Shootings in History. And it provided a listing of these in the article, and I simply pulled that out of the article, put it into a spreadsheet here. And all I did was add the country so I could kind of get an idea of the differences between how many mass shootings were going on in the United States and how many were happening in the rest of the world. So let's just take a look at a few of, excuse my voice here, a few of these shootings here. Now, the ones that have large numbers like this one here in Paris, France, and down here in Garissa, Kenya, and Nairobi, Kenya, and those numbers are, here's one up here in Paris, France. These were actually attacks by multiple gunmen, terrorist attacks. In Paris, of course, was ISIS. In Kenya, it was Al-Shabaab. In Pakistan, it was down here. These were schools, and they were Al-Qaeda and Taliban-affiliated terrorist groups. What I found, though, is most countries had a couple. France and Brazil had 4 and 3 mass shootings. You get down to the United States, I highlighted it in blue. Just look at the number of mass shootings we had compared to the others in the country, other countries. We have more guns per capita, according to some other statistics, than any other country. So, I look here, so we also have some of the worst mass shootings. The important thing here is outside of those terrorist attacks, most of these other attacks were by one gunman, and of course we have 16, 17. Here in Tunisia we had 38, 26. Those are pretty devastating numbers. Then you get down to the United States, where nearly every one of these shootings was by one person except for San Bernardino, which was a husband-wife combination. What you have here, 58 shot in Las Vegas and almost 500 wounded, 49 in Orlando. When you start adding up 58, 49, 32 in Blacksburg, Virginia, Newtown, Sandy Hook, a school shooting, 27, Sutherland Springs Church, 26, Texas, Killeen, Texas, we had 23 shot in a restaurant. You start adding these all up, there's a tremendous amount of people shot by one person in a short period of time. This is a direct result of those assault rifles, the same ones that were designed to give us in the military in the 60s and special forces and other military units, to give us the distinct advantage over the enemy in terms of firepower and the amount of damage and severity that these can do to us in this country using this weapon. So if you look at this, the assault rifle really wasn't designed for civilian use. Yeah, it's fun to shoot, to be honest with you. It is a little fun to shoot. But I could do without that fun if I knew it was going to protect kids in school, if it wasn't going to be used to devastate a crowd that was enjoying itself at an outside concert. And then people were adding things to take, like the bump stock, to simulate automatic fire like we had with this weapon in Southeast Asia and the Middle East and everywhere else, where we had an automatic weapon. These bump stocks simulate that automatic weapon without actually making it automatic. Come very, very close. Couple that with the fact they made it easy to take out a clip and put in another clip within 1 or 2 seconds, and you had tremendous amount of rounds. You had tremendous amount of firepower and devastation. That round, when it hit somebody, it was like a frag grenade going off in them. So keep this in mind when we're talking about what we should do with these military assault style weapons. You can call them semi-automatic if you want. They weren't designed for that initially. They were designed to be assault weapons for the military. That's out there. If there's a way to get those out of the hands of people, so if there's a program that will get those recalled or brought back, voluntarily brought back, to get them off of the streets so we don't have to deal with them in the future, whatever we can do to make that kind of thing happen, in my mind, is going to make every kid in every school safer, every mall safer, every restaurant safer, every theater safer, every street safer. We got far too many of these compared to the rest of the world. Just far too many. And you can cut it any way you want, but we just have too many more than everybody else. So, and a lot more devastation than most everybody else per shooting. So, information for you to handle. You do with it what you would like. I just want you to have a little more information to make a wise decision. I know what my decision is. I'm not anti-gun, but I don't like those kinds of weapons on the street. I don't think they're needed for self-defense in a home or on the street or anywhere else. So, given that, I hope you have a great day. I hope you make some decisions. I hope you get involved in getting your Congress people to go where they need to go with it based on what you think. My name is Victor Bogle, and just keep in mind, my sole objective is to prevent you from being attacked. As my saying is very simple, it's better to prevent a threat than to defend your life against an attack. And everywhere I go, I create bad guy free zones. Have a great day.